Next season's grid could look very different, with plenty of teams looking to shuffle their lineups. There will be some fresh faces in the paddock waiting for their first race, while the more experienced racers might look elsewhere for a more advantageous position. Others are in a difficult position and are doing everything they can to continue competing in Formula One. What driver changes might we see for the 2023 season? Let's find out. Stay tuned. The unexpected retirement of Sebastian Vettel early on in the mid-season break has caused a chain reaction of chaos in Formula One. Alpine and McLaren have been in the centre of the action throughout the entire drama. The announcement of Vettel's retirement was a complete surprise. However, the events that occurred afterwards are making things more and more complicated. Both Fernando Alonso and Lawrence Stroll took advantage of Vettel's retirement. Alonso will take over the driver's seat of the Aston Martin for the 2023 season and beyond. The move that Alonso made caught everyone off guard. It came out of nowhere, which added to the shock, and most importantly, nobody saw it coming. The announcement came as a shock to Alpine F1, the same as it did to everyone else. Alpine team principal Otmar Safnauer was also caught off guard and had no idea what was going on until the announcement. The boss of Alpine told the media that Alonso had assured him that the rumours about him leaving Alpine for Aston Martin weren't true. Well, Alpine should have found itself in a more relaxing situation after the announcement. Sure, losing Alonso was a significant setback, but it wouldn't have been nearly as devastating if the things that followed hadn't occurred. Nevertheless, everything started heading in the wrong direction, and now Alpine F1 is in the middle of complete chaos. Following Alonso's departure, Alpine was forced to search for a replacement driver. And guess what? They have an incredible talent for driving for the team as a reserve driver, Oscar Piastri. Oscar Piastri was a natural fit for the team. The young player was already demonstrating remarkable success, and the team placed significant faith in him. Oscar Piastri's name was mentioned in a press release issued by Alpine F1 on August 2nd, suggesting that he had been promoted to the Formula One Championship and would be racing with Esteban Ocon from the 2023 season. However, the press release looked suspicious the moment it was released. In contrast to any other release of this kind, there was not a quote nor a statement from the signing driver. And within 2 minutes, Piastri shocked us all. Piastri was in utter opposition to what was stated in the press release. The Australian said in a tweet, "I understand that without my agreement, Alpine F1 have put out a press release late this afternoon that I am driving for them next year. This is wrong, and I have not signed a contract with Alpine for 2023. I will not be driving for Alpine next year." It was a major story that just broke. It was obvious that several other teams were interested in Oscar Piastri. The driver market experienced a tremendous boom. But how did things develop into such a bad situation for Alpine? Since more than a year ago, Piastri has served Alpine as a driver in the reserve position. He has accomplished more than 3,500 kilometres worth of testing in the Alpine F1 car. Alpine F1 views this as substantial investment capital and is looking for a return on their money. In addition, the team's principal Otmar Safnauer has made it quite obvious that the Australian would be the team's first choice to replace Alonso. If Alonso hadn't left Alpine, Alpine was also contemplating Williams as an alternative to loan out Piastri for the 2023 season so he could secure a position in F1. According to the terms of the deal, Alpine had the right to do so. It is believed that the contract also stated that Alpine F1 had to ensure that Piastri receives a seat by a certain date, or else an aspect of a free agency may come into play to decide the fate of the Australian driver. So the question is, has the date passed? This is something that can only be known by the management of Alpine and Oscar and the person who interpreted the contract. In the coming days, we will watch to see how everything develops. What about the other teams? In McLaren, Lando Norris, who is currently in his 4th season with McLaren, extended his contract before the start of the season. The extension will keep him with the team until the end of the 2025 season. However, because McLaren cannot provide Norris with a car that can consistently compete for a podium position, Norris's decision to remain with the team for the next 3.5 years has been called into question. In the case of Daniel Ricciardo, things are quite different. In spite of the fact that he has underachieved this season, Ricciardo issued a statement last month claiming that he will not walk away from the sport and that he will see out his deal at McLaren, which runs until the conclusion of the next season. However, because the rumours that McLaren has agreed to sign Piastri, there has been speculation that Daniel Ricciardo will ask for $21 million to get out of his contract early. This comes after Ricciardo was informed that McLaren is determined to acquire Piastri. Piastri could also sign on as a test driver in 2023, understanding that a race seat will become vacant the following year. This would be an alternative possibility. However, it seems like an unusual decision to forego the first season in Formula One to join a team that is presently 4 points behind Alpine in the constructors' standing. Elsewhere on the grid, Charles Leclerc and Carlos Sainz have secured their spots in the Ferrari driver lineup. Thus, the team is in complete stability. For Mercedes, while Lewis Hamilton's current deal is slated to expire after the 2023 season, Mercedes has locked in George Russell for an extended period. The 7-time world champion was said to be contemplating retirement during the last off-season, but he seems just as motivated and driven as he always has been right now. In response to the announcement that Vettel would retire, Hamilton stated, "I'm still fresh and still feel I've got plenty of fuel left in the tank. Of course, I want to get back to winning ways, and that's going to take time. I'm sure we'll sit down at some stage and talk about the future. I'm enjoying what I'm doing and feel really proud working with this incredible group of people. I'm also enjoying working with the sport more than ever. We've got some great people leading the sport. We're having great conversations about the direction we're going in." In the Red Bulls, Max Verstappen has a contract with Red Bull that runs through 2028, and Sergio Perez recently extended his own deal until 2024. Despite this, there are rumours that Red Bull is keeping an eye on Mick Schumacher, who is driving for Haas. Although the German's current contract is slated to expire after the campaign, he is anticipated to continue driving alongside Kevin Magnussen in the following campaign. For Williams, they announced last week that Alex Albon has agreed to extend his contract through 2023, with the former Red Bull star parodying Piastri's tweet in his announcement. Albon's announcement included a humorous take on Piastri's tweet. He will almost certainly have a new partner, as Nicholas Latifi's status is becoming increasingly uncertain. Nick De Vries, who now serves as a reserve for Mercedes, is considered a possible candidate to fill the Canadian spot. What is the situation in Alfa Romeo? Valtteri Bottas is obliged to remain an Alfa Romeo driver due to the contract length. Zhou Guanyu, a rookie driver, has a contract that will expire at the end of the season. However, the Chinese race car driver has demonstrated sufficient skill to imply that he will most likely be awarded an extension. For AlphaTauri, although Pierre Gasly has extended his contract with AlphaTauri for another year, Yuki Tsunoda's current agreement will not be renewed after the conclusion of the current season. This year, the Japanese racer, who is 22 years old, has demonstrated some signs of improvement, and he may just about be able to hold on to his seat. Meanwhile, Alonso will have Lance Stroll as his teammate at Aston Martin. What do you anticipate the outcome of the Piastri contract scenario to be? Which of the driver transfers took you completely by surprise? Let us know in the comments section below. That will be all for today's video. Thanks for staying tuned. Please don't forget to hit the subscribe button and notification bell so that you can always get to watch more amazing videos like this. See you in the next video. Bye!